Hi, I'm Bart Charlo, Executive Director of Peninsula Volunteers. Peninsula Volunteers is one of the oldest senior service agencies in the United States. Our mission is basically to help seniors in our community age gracefully with dignity and to live independently as long as possible, and to continue to enrich our lives with the wisdom that they've gained. There are so many different types of people who use Peninsula Volunteers. It's really hard to categorize them. Think of a whole community, people who are teachers, atomic scientists, laborers, who did all sorts of things in their lives. Mrs. Bettini is a delightful woman who lives in her own home at over 100 years of age. She came to us in her 70s. It was her and her husband, and they wanted to live in their retirement and have a ball. And so at our Little House Activity Center, they did exactly that. They came to the balls, they danced. They loved it. She liked it so much that, like a lot of our participants, she decided to volunteer and help others. So she helped us start our Meals on Wheels program and was one of the early volunteers in delivering those meals to the homes. Today, Mrs. Bettini gets those very same meals delivered to her as she needs them in her own home, and it helps her live a happy, independent life. She's a delight today as she was 30 years ago because of this. Our first program, the original, is Little House. It's an adult community center. We provide recreation, socialization, different things to do, people to meet, all the good things that keep a life, just a life of quality. Rosner House is an adult day service. You might think of daycare, but it's a lot more than that. It's occupational, physical, speech therapies, art and music therapy. It's a really active social program that keeps people hopping all day long. And the best part of it is that because they're in our program, they're able to live with their own families in their own homes, sometimes for decades longer with greater functioning than they would otherwise. When you think about people with Alzheimer's, dementias, Parkinson's disease, stroke, all kinds of debilitating and chronic illnesses, those are the very things that we help work with in a Rosner House. We have 2 senior low-income supported housing units, 123 apartments all told between Partridge Kennedy Apartments, which was the very first HUD-supported, privately organized low-income senior housing in the entire United States, and then more recently our Crane Place Apartments. They're beautiful buildings, but more than that, they're comfortable places for people to live and to age gracefully. These are folks who could not otherwise afford to stay in our community, but they help build this community. So we feel that it's our obligation to make it possible for them to live comfortably right near downtown Menlo Park and to have a ball. I'm enthused by seeing every day how much difference it makes in people's lives. And I'll tell you, when I sit down to lunch with the seniors in our activity center, for example, I'm always astonished. They're all 10, 20 years older than I think they are. We keep them active, and that's the fun of it. You know that aging affects all of us. You, me, our spouses, our parents, and it can take a terrible toll on a family or a community, but it doesn't have to. Look at the impact we have and how cost-effective we are. We're not a government program, we're a community program made up of people just like you, so we hope you'll join us in supporting and investing in the services of Peninsula Volunteers. Thank you so much for considering us.